Long ago, the world was beautiful. Mountains stood tall. Rivers flowed freely. And families built their lives across the land. Children laughed in the streets. Life was growing and expanding. But something had gone terribly wrong. People had turned away from goodness. Violence filled the earth. Greed replaced kindness. Hearts became hard. Everywhere you looked, there was corruption and cruelty. And when God looked at the world he had created, his heart was filled with sorrow. Yet in the middle of all that darkness, there was one man who chose a different path. His name was Noah. Noah was not perfect, but he walked with God. He chose honesty when others chose lies. He chose obedience when others chose rebellion. And because of that, God chose him for something that would change the world forever. One day, God gave Noah a warning. A flood was coming, a flood that would cover the earth and wash away the corruption of humanity. But God also gave him instructions. He was to build an ark, a massive ship, larger than anything anyone had ever seen. It would carry his family and 2 of every kind of animal. Imagine hearing that. No signs of rain. No storm clouds gathering. Just a command that sounded impossible. But Noah believed. So he began to build. Day after day. Year after year, he worked. Hammering wood. Raising beams. Following the instructions exactly as he was given. The ark slowly rose from the ground, towering over the land like a silent message of warning. And the people laughed. They mocked him. They called him foolish. They couldn't understand why anyone would build a ship so large on dry land. But Noah kept building. Faith often looks strange to those who don't understand it. Then one day, something extraordinary happened. Animals began coming from every direction. Elephants walked side by side. Lions moved calmly in pairs. Birds filled the sky. Creatures great and small approached the ark as if guided by an unseen hand. One by one, they entered. Finally, Noah, his wife, his sons, and their wives stepped inside. And the door of the ark was shut. At first, the rain was light. Just a drizzle. People looked up at the sky, confused. Rain was not unusual, but this felt different. The clouds grew darker. The wind began to howl. Water started pooling in the streets. And it did not stop. The rain poured for hours. Then days. Water rushed through villages. People ran toward higher ground. Parents lifted their children. Neighbors tried to help one another as fear replaced laughter. The rivers overflowed. The ground disappeared beneath rising waves. Homes were swallowed. Fields vanished. Entire cities were overtaken by water. From above, the earth slowly became an endless ocean. And in the distance, the ark floated. Steady. Silent. Safe. Everyone outside the ark was lost. Only Noah, his family, and the animals remained. Inside the ark, life continued. Animals were fed. Children were comforted. Prayers were whispered. Outside, the storm raged. Inside, faith endured. For 40 days and 40 nights, the rain fell. And even after it stopped, the waters remained. Days turned into weeks. Weeks into months. There was nothing but water in every direction. Imagine the waiting. The silence after the storm. The uncertainty. Finally, Noah released a raven. Later, he sent out a dove. The dove returned, there was still nowhere to land. Days passed, and he sent the dove again. This time, it came back carrying an olive leaf. Life was returning. Hope was growing. Eventually, the ark came to rest on the mountains of Ararat. Slowly, carefully, the family stepped out onto dry ground. Fresh air filled their lungs. The earth was quiet, renewed. The first thing Noah did was not build a house. He built an altar. He gave thanks. Because survival was not luck, it was mercy. Then God made a promise. Never again would a flood destroy the whole earth. And as a sign of that promise, a rainbow stretched across the sky, bright, bold, impossible to miss. A reminder that even after judgment, there is mercy. Even after storms, there is peace. Even after loss, there can be a new beginning. The story of Noah's Ark is more than a story about animals and a boat. It is a story about obedience when you are misunderstood. Faith when there is no evidence. Courage when the world disagrees. Storms will come. Darkness may rise. But those who stand firm, who choose faith over fear, can find themselves carried safely through. And sometimes, on the other side of the storm, there is a rainbow waiting.